If God promised to bless the world through Israel, how can a religion that bypasses Israel claim to be the truth? What's my main thesis? Islam cannot be the truth because it contradicts the eternal covenant God made with Israel to be the vessel of His light to the nations. To accept Islam is to imply God abandoned that covenant, something Scripture denies. Firstly, let's look at some biblical foundations. In Genesis 12:1-3, we see God promised to Abraham, all nations will be blessed through him. It reads, "The Lord has said to Abraham, go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse, and all people on earth will be blessed through you." You can see in this passage, God established His covenant with Abraham and promised Abraham that through his offspring, all nations will be blessed. This is the establishment of the Abrahamic covenant. In Isaiah 42:6, we read, "I, the Lord, have called you in righteousness. I will take hold of your hand. I will keep you and will make you to be a covenant for the people and a light to the Gentiles." In Isaiah 49:6, we also read, it says, "It is too small of a thing for you to be my servants, to restore the tribes of Jacob and to bring back those of Israel I have kept. I will also make you a light for the Gentiles, that my salvation may reach to the ends of the earth." In the book of Isaiah, we see how Israel is expressed as a light to the Gentiles, to the entire world. What am I hinting at here? God made a covenant with Israel that through Israel there will be a vessel of light to the world. God was going to use Israel to bring the world back to Him. Now, how does this reconcile with Islam? If Islam claims to be the truth, it should fulfill this covenant. But we see that's not the case. A common way Muslims try to reconcile this is saying Islam is part of the Abrahamic covenant. But we see this is simply not true. If you read through the book of Genesis, in Genesis 17 to be specific, start reading from the 19th verse. It says, "Then God said, yes, but your wife Sarah will bear you a son, and you will call him Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his descendants after him." Verse 20, "And as for Ishmael, I have heard you. I will surely bless him. I will make him fruitful and will greatly increase his numbers. He will be the father of 12 rulers, and I will make him into a great nation." We can see from the book of Genesis, the covenant was established through Isaac and not Ishmael. And from the Islamic paradigm, Islam comes from the descendants of Ishmael. For you to say Islam is part of the Abrahamic covenant, it makes simply no sense, because the covenant was established through Isaac, and we know Israel came from Isaac, something Islam doesn't attend to. Islam comes from Ishmael, which means Islam doesn't fulfill the Abrahamic covenant. Not only that, the covenant of salvation was not made through them, it's made through Israel. For you to claim Islam is the truth, it's basically just saying God abandoned this covenant, which is simply not true. For Islam to be the truth, you have to basically say God abandoned this covenant, or in better words, broke his promise, which is simply something scripture denies. If you read in Romans 11:29, it emphasizes that God's covenant with Israel is eternal and irrevocable. For you to claim Islam is the truth, you are basically depicting God as being imperfect and one who breaks his covenants, which is not a concept of God known in the previous scripture. If the covenant still stands, Islam can simply not be the truth. Why? It doesn't come out of Israel. The religion is not one that comes out of Israel. For the fulfillment of a religion, or for a religion to better be true, it has to fulfill this covenant. Christianity fulfills this covenant. Islam doesn't. With this, going back to my main thesis, this is why I believe Islam can simply not be the truth. Islam cannot be the truth because it contradicts the eternal covenant God made with Israel to be the vessel of his light to the nations. To accept Islam is to imply God abandoned the covenant, something scripture denies. And you might be asking, why as a Muslim should you follow what the Torah says? I can list a couple of verses in the Quran that acknowledge the preservation and how authentic the previous scriptures are. And it's in multiple verses it tells Jews and Christians to follow the Torah and the Gospels, basically the previous scriptures. So according to the Islamic paradigm, you have to follow the Torah. And according to the Torah, a covenant was established, which Islam doesn't fulfill. In other words, this is also what we call an Islamic dilemma. It's where in both ways, we have a dilemma where in both ways Islam is simply false. If Muslims should think about this from an objective standpoint, the religion Islam does not fulfill the covenants, which means it simply cannot be true. Because if the covenant still stands, the true religion should be one out of Israel and not one that doesn't come from the nation of Israel. If you find this video helpful, please do well to like the video, share, and if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. Thank you.